Today we're going to be looking at my newest rabbit hole obsession of thread painting. So stick around if you want to find out what I've been doing, what I've been buying and what I'm going to be doing next. Hello and welcome back to a cookie corner of YouTube. I have fallen down another rabbit hole. I have previously been in this rabbit hole, but now I've delved even further into it because I'm kind of obsessed with it and the different effects you can get. And that thing is thread painting. Well, it is embroidery, but it's kind of like trying to blend colours and make things look, well, you can make them look realistic or you can make them look painterly, and that's what I'm liking about it. So let me take you through a few of the little hoops I've got on my desk at the moment. These have been recent makes, if you will. The first one, now this was from a pattern by Becky's Embroidery, and I absolutely recommend her patterns as a jumping off point if you want to start doing something, because she's got some really beautiful ones. And I was obsessed with Jimothy, as was most of the internet the past month. And so I bought her Jimothy pattern and really absolutely enjoyed doing this piece. It was such an eye-opener for me because it was like, this is really nice and relaxing. I could sit in my chair and listen to music or listen to an audiobook and just do a little bit of Jimothy stitching. And that was so helpful, especially going through some tooth pain at the time. This took my mind off it a great deal. So I will link Becky's socials and things down in the description box below if you want to do your own Jimothy, stitch your own Jimothy, or any of the other wonderful pieces she's got. She's just done the most magnificent raven, and I think she's writing the pattern up for that at the minute, and I absolutely adore that. So that might be one of my things that I would like to have a go with. But I've also been having a go at a few of my own. I've been experimenting, should I say. So Jimothy was one of Becky's, and these two are my own design. So I've done, this is kind of a big hoop with a small design in it, and I've done small hoops with a kind of a smallish, that one's not so small, but this one's a smaller design here. So I did one of my colourful corvids. You know, I don't ever do corvids completely black. They're always vibrant colours. And that's because black encompasses all of the colours within it. That's my talk about corvids. I'll do that for a TED talk another time. But I love bright birds. And I think corvids have a lot of brightness within them, and their feathers are beautiful in themselves. If you look very closely at a raven's feathers, all the blues and the violets, and oh, just lovely. Anyway, I'm going off on a rant about birds, but I did this one. This is a party bird. His name is Benedict. It's a bit of a wand, this one. He's stolen this hat. Yes, he did, yeah. But he's found himself a new hat and he wants everybody to start wearing purple. And that's his thought. Everybody needs to wear purple. So this was my own design, done in my own style. And basically what I did with Benedict was, I've got my background fabric, which is a Pima cotton. And also behind Benedict is fabric. I don't know if you can see through there, but there's some fabric behind him in different colours. I kind of collaged fabric on top of the bird and then stitched over that just to see what kind of an effect I got, and I really enjoyed that. That is another thing I'll be exploring further. And because I enjoyed the beads and sequins so much on here, I've done some beads and sequins on Benedict. So he's got some tiny little seed beads underneath his eye there. And then I've got some other beads and seed beads around, and he's got a little pom-pom at the top of his hat. And we've got some sequins in here as well. So I've added in some sequins. You know, I am a magpie, so these things are things that are important to me. So he's got some little sequins on his hat. And I also got some thread, which is kind of like a holographic thread. And I stitched a few strands of that. I don't know if you can see that shining in the light. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but they're kind of interspersed within his feathers there. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. I painted my own frame for this one as well. I've got the basic generic bamboo frames that I will always put my pieces into because they're just so handy, because it's already framed and I can hang it up then. By that part there, it hangs up really nicely. And I want to make a collection of them. So I think these all go quite together quite nicely. Jimothy there. And this was the next piece. I'm getting bits of sequin all over my desk at the moment. And this was the latest one I've done. And I will explain a little bit more about how I did this one. I did a sheet for people who are members of my Ko-fi group. It's a very small group, there aren't many of us. And I did a little bugs and beetles sheet last year. And I printed it out because I was making the shirt. If you remember, I was stitching them onto the shirt that I was doing, and I still need to do more of that. It's another ongoing project. But I had one of the little transfers that I printed off, and I thought, okay, I will put that on there and see how it goes and stitch over it. And it worked supremely well. So then went in with some beads and sequins, and we've got this magical moth. Don't know what his name is yet. I've got to think of a name for him. And he's in an even smaller frame. So that's a 4-inch, that's a 5-inch. And I think that one is 6 inches, that frame there that this one's in. So I've got different sized hoops as such, but they all come, well, the small ones come like this, and I just paint them with craft paint, and then I put some Dorland's wax on them to wax it down, shine it up, and that's a protection for the frame itself. So that's my technique with hoops. You can obviously leave them plain. You could take them out of the hoop and frame them another way. That's another way you could use them. But I am obsessed with threads. And I've also bought myself a whole set of beads and sequins. Like I didn't have beads and sequins already. But I really liked the size of the sequins that I bought, and I really liked the beads that I got. So I'm absolutely enthralled with beads and sequins, and I've got them all over the place. It is a rabbit hole. You can do as little or as much as you want. In the first instance, when I did Jimothy, I had a couple of the threads suggested already, because I've got a lot of embroidery threads. That's the other thing I'm going to need, as well as the background fabric. I had this fabric already because obviously I've got a lot of fabric in my stash already, so I already had something of a similar colour to the one that Becky was using. I didn't have some of the sequins and beads. So my first purchase, if I can find my little box. So apart from the other threads I needed, this was my first little purchase and foray into bead buying. And I got some beading needles. I didn't get that piece of thread. I got some beading thread, and you can get that in all different colours. But this one matched Jimothy and what I needed to do for him. And I got some of the beads that Becky recommended, which were the Mayuki Delica beads, and these are the Mayuki Bugles. And I got these from a place called Peppy Beads. While I was on there, I also bought some of these. little yellow opaque ones because I liked the colour. And then I got some of these lined crystal pink ones, which are Miyuki Delicas again, in the same brand as the ones I used on Jimothy. That was my smallish purchase. And then I went kind of crazy, and I remember texting or messaging in the Discord channel, Arty Farty Annie's Discord channel, about where to get some sequins from, and the lovely Jen in there suggested a place that I went to get some sequins. And I'd already previously ordered on Amazon a huge bundle of beads and such. So I'll show you what I got if you're interested. I'll grab them out and tell you what I got. So I went to a place that Jen recommended. It's called Sequin World. All the sequins you'll ever need since 2009. Well, sounds like a perfect place for a magpie to hang out, doesn't it? And I got these. And these are sequins in varying sizes, mainly the 3mm ones with some 2mm ones and some 5mm ones as well, just because I liked the nice bright colours. So what I wanted, I did want the flat sequins, not the cup sequins. I've got quite a few cup sequins already. If I show you my little cup sequin, well, this is a few of them, should I say. This is one I got off Amazon a while back, and it's all stuck down. I need to take the sticky tape off. I'll put it back on to keep it hold together. But I got all those sequins. Now they are, I think they're a 5mm sequin, but they are the cup ones. Well, they're good as well, but I just really, really specifically wanted the flat ones. I'm going to use these also in some of my projects that's going to be coming up shortly too. So I grabbed those, but those were an Amazon purchase. These I've got already. I got these from TK Maxx. In fact, it was Home Sense, which is part of TK Maxx, and that's got some bigger beads in it, which I really quite like as well. And I think I didn't use them on that one. No, I might have used them on the bird. Yeah, I think I used them on Benedict, those size beads. And I put some little tiny seed beads in as well from another selection of beads that I've got. I'm surrounded by beads and sequins. It's wonderful. I'm in absolute heaven. But I was looking for different colours of seed beads, as you do once you get into this rabbit hole. Let me put these over on one side, especially close them, make sure they don't fall out anywhere. I'm getting bits of glitter everywhere. And then I went onto Amazon and they had this selection of small beads. I don't think they are the best quality, but I do like them, and I will show you what I got in the kit, which is quite substantial. So let me open the box. Open the box. Oop, can you hear that? That's all the beads. So we got selections of beads. Now there's this tray filled with all these little tiny beautiful coloured beads. That's one. Two, with another selection of beads. Three, with another selection of beads. I'm going to keep saying that. Four. Five. And six. Not only, but also seven trays of beads in the most beautiful colours. And I was absolutely thought, oh, this is great. I love this. But also in the kit, I got some Crystal Tech. These are for like making jewellery pieces. If you want to make jewellery with family or friends or whatever, this is a great kit. To say I want to use these for sewing, but absolutely could make jewellery with them. I've got all these little beads that came with it as well, so all of these some little fasteners, pair of tweezers, and a tiny pair of scissors that I was very dubious about, but they actually do cut rather well. So I was well impressed. Also, I don't know if it's in here or not, I got 2 long beading needles. Now these are not things I'm going to need right now, the beads especially I am, but not specifically these, but I have got an idea for these that I might be doing at some point or another. So keep your eyes peeled for a little project coming up with these included, because I want to use them obviously. But I was just so impressed with the amount of beads I've got. If you're interested, if you're in the market for some beads, I will link it down below. I paid for these with my own money. It's my own payment. But if you're interested, I will put the link down below where I got all these 7 boxes of beads. Now, there's not a great huge amount in each one, but there's enough to keep you going for quite a while, I would say anyway. So yeah, absolutely loving all these beads. I did notice some of the comments said that they weren't very even in size. They generally tend not to be, unless you buy the really expensive Mayuki beads, which you can buy as well. I was super impressed with what I got in the box. I wish I could find the long beading needles. I put those somewhere. I can't find them there. But they were in there as well. So much to play with for a magpie like myself. I'm absolutely in heaven. Let me pop this box off to one side now. So what I'm thinking I might do is a series of these little tiny critters that I'm going to stitch into hoops to make myself a little selection of bright little moths and butterflies and bugs and beetles. I got this book a while back when I was doing my beetles and bugs earlier this year, and it's called Living Jewels, and it's the natural design of beetles. It's a really tiny little book. It fits on my bookshelf. I got it second hand from World of Books, but it's got all these beautiful beetles in it. And I think they are stunningly lovely. And I would like to do a little selection with little beetles and moths and other crawly beasts. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but I do like a good beetle or a moth. And I think they translate, especially with the colours. I mean, look at that. Look how beautiful that beetle is there. He's just stunning. I love all the metallic colours you get with beetles as well, and I love all the like iridescent colours you can get with butterflies and moths. So my thought on this is, while I am delving down into my thread painting, I would take you guys along with me as well. If you were interested in coming, please let me know in the comments below if it's something you're going to be interested in. Otherwise I'll just keep my little obsessions to myself. But if you're interested, please do leave me a message down below, and I will do videos on some of the things that I've been doing. Also, give you my recommendations, as I am learning at the same time. This was my first proper, I have done thread painting before a while back for certain things that I've done, but I'm kind of really into this so much now. So what you're going to need are hoops and embroidery threads, and obviously I'm going to be doing the ones that I've got with the colours I've got, but you can do them, I mean, if you prefer a more natural, kind of like a dark academia moth that you could hang up in a room that looks quite realistic, that's also a really good option. I'm liking that idea as well. Because I do have my moments where I like something that's a little bit more muted. Not often, but sometimes I do. But all of the things I'm going to be doing could be translated one way or another. So if you're interested and you want to join me in my little quest of thread painting, then do drop me a little note in the description box below. And I'll put together some of the videos and some of the things that I have been letting my little heart sing over. If you were interested in the bugs sheet, this has got a few like beetles, bugs and moths on it that I made for my shirt piece. I think there may be a sheet of those in the Facebook group. So if you wanted to have a go at this particular moth itself, I put together a sheet of little moths and bugs, and if it's not in the Facebook group, I'll put it in there now. But different methods of how to transfer it. I'm going to be trying all the different methods of transferring patterns to fabric, different threads that I'm using, different techniques, different stitches. So if you're interested, I would love to know, and I would love to share it with you, but only if you're interested in following me down this little quest. So do please let me know. Anyway, that's enough from me for today of my current obsession, but there's plenty more other things I'm obsessed with as well. I'll be back here very soon with another one of them. Obviously, Cozy Art Club on a Sunday. Always on a Sunday we do something specifically arty and cozy, and something to get us all loosened up and just enjoying a bit of me time. So that's always on a Sunday. But I will be back with other things very soon. That's all from me. Bye for now.